Namaste children, welcome to Madhu's English Academy. Today we are going to learn a very important topic in English grammar. Modals. Modals are always very tricky. They can also be called as auxiliary verbs, modal verbs, modal auxiliaries. So, they are also special verbs which behave in a very irregular way. So, they can also be called as special verbs and irregular verbs. So, modals can also be called as auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries, special verbs or irregular verbs. What are these modals or what are these irregular verbs? Before knowing that, let us learn what are regular verbs. So, regular verbs are the verbs which can change their form. For example, play, come, sing. We can change the form like plays or played. Comes, came. Sings, sang, sung, etc. So, regular verbs can change their forms. Modal verbs or auxiliary verbs cannot change their forms. They are also called as helping verbs. Sometimes they help the main verb or the regular verbs to communicate their function.
There are totally 9 main modals or 9 major modals. They are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might and must. Can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might and must.
Added to this, we also have ought to, had better, dare and need not. So, 13 major auxiliary verbs. These 13 auxiliary verbs follow the following functions or these functions in a sentence. They make the sentence to communicate permission or ability or obligation or prohibition or lack of necessity, advice, possibility and probability. So, the modals help the sentence to communicate these functions.
Now let us learn the usage of the modal verbs. Let us learn the functions of can in a sentence. Can is used to express ability. For example, I can swim. It is used to seek permission. Can I use your phone, please? It is also used to express possibility. You can speak in English if you learn in this school. When it comes to the functions of could, there is a slight difference. It could be expressed to express the ability which was in the past. I could swim when I was younger. It could also be used to seek polite permission. Excuse me, could I just say something? It is also used to express possibility. It could rain tomorrow. The functions of should or ought to are always similar. Should or ought to are used to advise or to speak about obligation. What is obligation? It is always about a person's duty or commitment or a responsibility. For example, I should or I ought to drive carefully in bad weather. When it is used as an obligation, you should switch off the light or you ought to switch off the light when you leave the room. Will is used to express a wish or a request or demand or order or a promise. For example, will you please shut the door? I will study well. Would is used to express wish or request, which is more polite than will. For example, would you shut the door, please? It is also used to tell about habits which were in the past. For example, sometimes he would bring me flowers. May is used to speak about possibility. For example, it may rain today. It is also used to seek permission in the present. For example, may I go to cinema? And it is used to give polite suggestion. May I help you? Might is used to express possibility or a hesitant offer. For example, it might rain today. Might I help you? Must is used to refer strong obligation or certainty. For example, you must stop when the traffic lights turn red. You had been working all day. You must be tired. Children, today we learned the modals can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, and must. They are not like the regular verbs, they are special verbs. Regular verbs can change their form. We can add s, ed, or ing. But irregular verbs or modals can never change their form. Children, modals may seem to be confusing. Initially, you may not know like which modal to use where, but once you start solving worksheets, once you start using modals, it will be easy for you. Always remember, practice makes a man perfect. There is one more tip from me which is always the best solution for language problems. Read more, read lot of books. Try reading lot of storybooks. I'll meet you soon. Thank you and bye-bye.